Hello everyone, another video which means another platinum. And this time I decided, since I've already platinumed 2 games I was familiar with, I thought it would be good to platinum a brand new game that I've never played before, and this one caught my interest, which is Nine Souls. Nine Souls is a metroidvania type of game, or at least I think that's what they're called. I haven't played many of them before. It has 35 trophies needed for the platinum. I'm primarily going to go over the few missable trophies there are, also the 2 trophies related to the different endings, but what I most want to talk about is the part of the game where I was undoubtedly having the most fun, which were the boss fights. To give a brief explanation of the combat to those that have never played Nine Souls, it basically revolves around 2 things, which are parrying and chi. When you successfully parry an enemy, you get chi, and with that chi you can use a talisman to deliver damage back to the enemy. And this is the main key to success when it comes to the bosses. I learned their patterns, parried whenever I could, and did damage as soon as there was an opening. I don't know the best way to describe it, but I just felt like the flow of combat was really well done. It was kind of the same cycle of losing and learning for every single boss, but I was honestly enjoying it every single time. There are 8 major story bosses, and I want to highlight 2 of them, which are Lady Ethereal and Yigong. Also, I looked up how to pronounce some of the names, but if I still don't say them correctly, you know, it is what it is, I tried. Anyway, I'll talk about Yigong later. I want to talk about Lady Ethereal first. She is my favorite boss, not only because she made a very memorable first impression, to say the least, she was also a real challenge for me. Besides Yigong, she took me the longest to beat. Her first phase is super easy because she doesn't have a lot of health. It's her second phase where I had a ton of trouble. She has all the same attacks from her first phase, but now there are 2 clones of her, and visually they all look and act the same. So the only way to know which one was the real Lady Ethereal was to hit her. I think there is somewhat of a pattern that makes guessing which one she might be a bit easier, but before I ever learned that, I was getting my ass kicked. I had so much trouble with that phase that when I finally got past it and saw there was a 3rd phase, which I kind of knew there was going to be one because of how easy the first phase was, I decided to go do some grinding, which I was going to have to do anyway for other trophies, so might as well do it now. After all my grinding was done, which maybe I went a bit overboard, I went back to Lady Ethereal to take on her 3rd phase. In her 3rd phase, she no longer hides herself, but there are more clones and she gets 2 new big attacks. It still took a couple of tries even with all the grinding, but I got there eventually. I really like Lady Ethereal's boss fight. I felt that it made me get better at the game, and when I finally beat it, I was extremely satisfied. It's one of those feelings that not every boss fight gives you, so it's really fun when it does happen. There are a handful of Missable trophies that I needed to do, which were Fight Dirty, Repurposed, What Have You Done, Robo Fight, and You Bastard. Fight Dirty is one that is related to a boss fight. Before the fight with Jiechuen, he'll be in a pot of goo, and by using the Gene Eradicator to poison him, I got the trophy. The Repurposed and You Bastard trophies are opposites, so if you get one, you can't get the other on the same playthrough, unless you do a bit of save scumming, but I decided to do it the old-fashioned way. They're both related to map data chips that can be obtained from NPCs, and to get the chips, I could either pay for them or take them by force. For the You Bastard trophy, I had to take at least one map data chip by force, so I started a new game and went to find the first NPC that offers one, so I could rip it out of them, which would give me the trophy. The Repurposed trophy required me to not get any map data chips by force, and once I collected all of them, all I had to do was use a fortune teller machine to get the trophy. The What Have You Done trophy is related to Shuen, and there are a couple of trophies related to him, but this is the only missable one as far as I know. Basically, there are these artifacts out in the world that I can bring back to Shuen, and he'll have some events with every single item. But for this specific trophy, I needed to give him red clay from the grotto, and once he starts working with it, before he finishes the pot, I needed to break it to get the trophy. Because once he's done, he'll give it to Kwafu, which will make it unbreakable, and he won't use the red clay to try and make anything else, so it's the only chance to break it. The last missable trophy is Robo Fight. I just needed to fight and beat a specific robot mini-boss while also piloting a robot. The robot I needed to use is just behind the mini-boss, but it's locked behind the gate, and to unlock it I need to do a bit of platforming to hack open the gate. Once that was done, all I had to do was fight fire with fire. Finally, the last two trophies I want to talk about are Shooting Star and Home Sweet Home. They're tied to the different endings the game has. You can get both of the endings on the same save file because after you beat the game, once you go back on that same save file, it'll return you to just before encountering Yigong, which will kick off the final sequence of the game again. Shooting Star is considered the true ending, and to get the option to unlock the true ending, I had to do a few things, which were give Shuen all the artifacts that he can interact with, give Shuanong, really don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right, but give him all the poison he can eat. Save the 8-man village. Help Shuanong become the new village leader of the 8 men. And find the rhizomatic bomb. Once all of that is done, I meet with Yigong to start the last section of the game. I talk with Kwafu, who will give me the option to either save the 8 men or save the Solarians. I choose to save the 8 men first, which will give me the true ending, but it also makes Yigong a 3-phase boss fight instead of just 2. Now it's time to talk about Yigong, who is without a doubt in my mind the most difficult boss in this game, which she should be because she is the final boss. But man, I was not ready for how long this fight was going to take me. Yigong is just like the other boss fights, losing and learning until success. At first, I thought her first phase was bullshit. This is dumb. What am I supposed to do? Stop spamming the fucking thrust attack. About an hour and a half later, the first phase is nothing, but this second phase, this is bullshit. How am I supposed to parry all of her fucking attacks? Not to mention, they have like different variants of each other. Which one is it gonna be? I don't fucking know. About 3 hours later or so, second phase isn't that hard actually. But this third phase is complete and utter bullshit. She's zipping around the entire screen. When do I fucking attack her? When's my turn? About another 2 hours later. Now the only trophy left before I can get the platinum was Home Sweet Home, which means all I had to do was load my save, meet Yigong to start the end of the game again. I talked to Kwafu, and instead of saving the 8 men, I chose the option to save the Solarians. With that done, I had to fight Yigong again, but now she doesn't have a third phase. With me having about 6 hours of experience on her first 2 phases, she didn't stand a chance. And with that, 9 Souls Platinum trophy is mine. I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I'm really happy to have its platinum on my trophy list. I first learned about 9 Souls because I was watching one of Iron Pineapple's Steam dumpster diving videos, and he had nothing but good things to say about it, which piqued my interest. And when I saw it on sale in the PlayStation Store, I thought, why not give it a shot? I usually stay away from games that have a lot of platforming in them, mainly because I'm trash at them. But also, I don't really have any nostalgia for platforming games, so I don't have any real urge to go and play them. However, I am happily surprised by 9 Souls. There were a few sections that made me struggle, but overall I had a great time. I didn't really mention the story, but it's definitely good. I really enjoyed learning about Yi's past with his sister, and how their relationship turned out. As a game, I highly recommend 9 Souls, and if you're kind of turned away by the difficulty, there is a story mode that allows you to increase your damage and turn off how much damage you take. So you can just run around and have a more casual experience if you really wanted to. In terms of the platinum, it's a pretty easy one. There's a bit of grinding and some collectibles, but it really didn't feel like much to me. And that's why I think eventually a lot of other platinum trophy hunters are gonna make their way to 9 Souls. You know, it's a great game with an easy platinum. How much better could it get? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you like. I would also greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. But most importantly, thanks for watching and be safe. Bye-bye.